Hello and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I'm Agam Vakil. We'll take a look at the markets at this point in time. Severe weakness coming through. We have about 120 points coming off for the Nifty, declining to around levels of around 10,660 odd. In terms of gainers, we do have Zee Entertainment advancing by around 16%, followed by Infratel and TCS. Coal India and Larsen Toubro also advancing in trade. On the losing end, we have weakness in Adani Ports. In fact, the whole lot of Adani Group stocks have been declining in trade. We have Indiabulls Housing Finance, Bajaj Finance, Yes Bank and Bajaj Finserv also weak in trade. But to talk about your broader markets, the market breadth hasn't really changed too much, except for the fact that we have even more losers in comparison gainers. So one advance for about 4 declines. And to talk about some of those key movers too, Dish TV moving in tandem with Zee Entertainment, Astral Polytechnic, Reddington India, Sun TV, Crompton Greaves all advancing in trade. On the losing end, we have HEG and Lind India, of course, Diwan Housing Finance, Graphite, all looking out to see some declines coming through. Well, on the whole, the markets are certainly looking, I would say, jittery. And we certainly are looking at some amount of weakness to come through. But the real question is, what can we do with respect to levels? What are we watching out for? For that, let's get in Hemant Kapadia, technical analyst who looks at these levels. Hemant, thank you for joining us. The Nifty at 10,660 now. Where do we go from here?
Thank you for having me, Agam. I think there is distinct trouble around the corner.
Yeah.
Last week we spoke about the VIX going up to 18, which was not good. We are closer to 19, Agam. Okay, we have a vote on account which I think should not account for much.
Yeah.
That's not my domain of expertise. We have a derivative expiry. IT and Reliance have saved the market over the last couple of weeks. It's bad. I think the advanced decline line is getting spoiled.
Yeah.
The mid caps and small caps are getting hammered. World markets have peaked out. It does not augur well. 11,000, despite multiple attempts, Nifty has come up short. Maybe, extreme short term tomorrow, I think there's going to be a bounce coming in. But the longer it takes, that much more weaker the markets are going to get.
Right. And you say that the weakness in the banks is going to be more or less the same?
I think so. See, if the bank Nifty had performed, Agam, we would have seen 11,000 being taken out. That's not happened.
Right.
And many stocks, banks, I mean, not yes and Indus, but even the better, stronger banks, except Axis, are getting top heavy. So, frankly speaking, it looks like it's slipping. It's just a matter of time, how and when.
Okay. Hemant, thank you for joining us and taking us through your views on the markets. That's as far as technicals are concerned. But let's talk about a few stocks perhaps which have bucked the trend. Not necessarily on the overall scheme of things, but Zee Entertainment is right at the top of the list. We have Yatin Mota who's joining us to give us an update on the same. Yatin, what's new for Zee Entertainment?
So, after the fall on Friday, which was over 35% on an intraday basis, a lot of firefighting is what the management did over the weekend and on Monday. We had the promoters which met the lenders in order to resolve the issues surrounding the default or probably the kind of breach of covenants that the management was talking about. More importantly, they also addressed investor call at 8:30 a.m. today morning, in which the management of Zee really spoke about how have they been able to progress with the lenders which have given them a moratorium or extension for the payment of dues till April 2019. More importantly, this comes in as a lifeline because the promoters also want to conclude a stake sale nearly 50% of their holdings, which is almost 20% of Zee Entertainment's total equity. Also, we had Punit Goenka, which on the conference call said that Zee has and the promoter group has been in talks with the lenders, and almost 96 to 97% of the lenders did agree for an extension. And in this extension period, no pledge shares would be revoked. Remember, almost 50% plus kind of shares of the promoters are pledged, and probably in the case of scenario, the lenders can revoke shares and sell them in the open market, and that was exactly the street concern on Friday, wherein the lenders sold nearly 0.6% of the promoter's stake in the open market, which caused this kind of panic. But as I was mentioning earlier, the lenders have now agreed, most of them, for an extension, and in this period there will be no sale of pledged shares, and probably that is the reason why the shares of Zee closed almost at the day's high. shutting shop at almost 16% higher.
60% higher. Well, Yatin, thank you for joining us and getting us those details. Z Entertainment was one, and there were a bunch of other stocks which are also in focus. And as usual, we have Sharad Dubey who's joining us to give us a list. Sharad?
Well, yes, the mid-cap space today, it bled at around 2% The Nifty mid-cap fell. So the first stock is good, definitely Godrej Properties. The top line was pretty good, that rose around 27%. But the bottom line, it fell. The net profit was almost 41 crores, and the EBITDA loss also was there at around 38.7 crore rupees. So basically, the company, we had a chat with the management itself. They sounded very positive on the bookings front, and they did have a good quarter when it comes to bookings, and also the area of average area of sales. Apart from this, geographically distribution was also there, and they also pointed out that their new joint venture will realize in Q4. Apart from this, I think the booking values really went up, and I think the second stock is Wockhardt, which came out with a very feeble set of numbers. Only the top line grew by just around 4%. But I think the weak financials was seen all across, with EBITDA down almost 59% and a margin contraction of around 300 basis points. The US and emerging markets did fare better, that around 4%. But I think the UK and the Irish business really grew the business growth. Apart from this, I think it's a weak financials are reported by Wockhardt on a general basis. So I think these two stocks were buzzing in the mid-cap space today.
All right, Sharad, thank you for joining us and taking us through those two other stocks which are also in focus. Watch out for that. Of course, will be another earnings-heavy day tomorrow. Among many others, we'll have Bajaj FinTwins announce earnings, and from the IT space, HCL Technology. So all this should be in focus tomorrow as we move into trade. But on that note, it's a wrap on the markets. But lots more lined up. Stay tuned to Bloomberg.